the Sohria Alexander Show. I bid you all a very wonderful and warm welcome. How are you doing, everybody? Allow me to say welcome to my radio listeners on Liberty 92.3 FM from the north of the island, to the south of the island, to the east of the island, and to the west of the island. I bid you good evening. And also to all my viewers on social media, how are you doing? Hope everybody is doing fine. And remember, we start on time to end on time. I only have an hour with you. And it is such a good feeling to come here and to impart with you. And let me tell you something. Many people love the show that I did concerning the young lady who was videotaped, and it went viral throughout the world. 8 billion people saw it. Let us try to portray each other in a good light. All we have is one life on this earth. None of us know what is on the other side. We may read it in the Bible. We may talk about it among ourselves, with our families, church friends, but none of us really know what is on the other side. Many people fear death. Many people fear death. But listen, we all have to go someday. Sometimes or someday, some of us may not experience death, but we may experience the rapture and the great tribulation. So why are we being so mean to each other? Why do we insist on hurting each other? And when I come to speak, and this is what I say, when I come to speak, I come to speak to open up your mindset. If you are expecting Sohria Alexander to come here and speak your narrative, or just to join the gang to say, oh, the man was right to videotape her, right to hit her, this is not the show for you. This show is for people who are open-minded, and this show is for people who want to do better. Because we all can do better. All of us have areas in our lives that needs changing. So the thing I realize with us people, all of us just like to say, oh, you know, he said this is a ball, but you know it is not a ball. You know very well it is an orange. But because everybody is saying it is a ball, you there with everybody else saying it is a ball when it is an orange. People must learn to be independent, to think for themselves. Oh, if I agree with so and say that he was wrong in doing that, oh, everybody is saying he was right in hitting her and videotaping her, so let me join with them. Why do you think people don't progress? Because everybody does the same thing. And we also can realize in our very little country, our little St. Lucia, somebody decided to start a business. Then you've seen everybody doing the same thing. I was just doing a little survey to see how many people are doing the same things. Where is the creativity? Where is the difference? Where is the uniqueness in what you bring to the table? And this is our problem. Or somebody started a food truck. Let me go and do a food truck, and I will be selling chicken and fries. Nothing wrong in wanting to have a food truck. But why don't you say, okay, instead of me doing chicken and fries, let me try to learn some Japanese cooking, some Indian cooking, So something different. But everybody in a chicken and fries, a chicken and fries, a chicken and fries. It's like nobody wants to do the hard work to think. And I am saying to you, this show is really hard work because I have to bring a different concept, a different show to you. I have to think of the topics and come here and deliver in a way for you to understand. Now, some people may not understand. Or is it that they don't want to understand? Because a lot of people know what I say makes sense, but they just prefer to be with the masses. We have to be careful with that. And we say it in politics. If one side say this and you know what they say is not right, but you just have to agree so you won't be attacked or you won't be thrown out of the boys or the girls club. You know, I will always be an independent thinker. I will always think on my feet. As I said to people, I am human. I will not always be right, but I always like to think for myself. And if, those of you who have been following me, for a long time on my shows, you would know that, I have always been like that. It's nothing new. As a child growing up, this is who I am. I remember as a child going to school. I could remember infant, primary school, secondary school, tertiary level. I always had like maybe one or two friends, right? I always thought for myself, everybody is my friend in terms that I am courteous to you. We can rap, we can talk. But to say just go with the flow, I never go with the flow. And one of my friends who have a business here, and she came here, she lived overseas for a while, and she met me, and she said, oh my God, so you're not changing. You used to talk for us at school. You were always the vocal one. It is me. It's not a put on. People who know me will say to you, this is so. So I always look at things from a different perspective, analyze it, shake it, marinate it, knead it, shake it, soak it for a while to understand. And I find that, and sometimes I find myself in trouble with people because they just want you to think like them. I won't think like you. And especially if it's a topic that can be discussed and we can see wrong is done, let us not support things that are not right, people. Let us not do that. Let us be the people who makes the difference. And to add insult to injury, after this was done to a young lady, 13 years, I saw a video of a guy videotaping a school child. This child may have been maybe grade 4, 5, and his neighbor videotaped him going to school on Whit Monday. Instead of saying, hey, there is no school today, apparently this neighbor has an issue with his parents, saying they are Africans, they are not good. So people, have St. Lucians become so cold? Have we become so cold that we are willing to see a little boy where his parents do not know better because they are not St. Lucians, they are Africans, and they were sending him to school on Whit Monday, all dressed in his Carmen Rennie Memorial School uniform? Instead of this grown adult say to the boy, hey, little boy, there's no school today, he was laughing and jeering, oh, let him go to school. Oh, Sally, there's no school. Let him go. Rah, rah, rah. Do a video. Video went viral. And then he had the update to the child going to school, where the child came back and the little boy was relaxing on the chair in his veranda. And this grown man again said, look at him. Look at boss man. His foot up. And then he went inside, saying some swear words with whoever was there. This is the level we have gotten to. And even the guy who videotaped the child said, oh, he mashed up my pot plant. Listen to how ignorant you are. He mashed up your pot plant. You could always grow your plant again. You can speak to his parents, you can speak to him, or you can remove your pot plant from there and put it in a secure place. Because we know children are going to be children. So you are so angry that he destroyed your pot plant. You as an adult, again, maturity. You are not mature enough to see, this is a child. Okay, I maybe I don't like his parents, but this is a child. He's going to school to say, little boy, today is with Monday, don't go to school. So suppose he had left. Let me show you the errors of your ways. Suppose this young child left, he went on the road and a car hit him. How would you feel? Or a stray bullet hit him. Or he fell in a pothole, broke his neck. Or he broke his leg or his arm. How would you feel as an adult? We are becoming ridiculous in this country. Adults are behaving like children. Why do you believe the young people cannot respect us? Because we behave worse than them. It's like a plague. There is a bullying plague. But I must say this time around, it was shared, hundreds of shares. It has tens of thousands of views. But I was happy with some of the comments where people were saying, come on, this is a child. What nonsense is that? Most of the comments were really hitting him hard to say, this is a child. What are you doing? Have we gotten to a place where we have become so cold-hearted? So it says to me, because in our country, right now, our country is politically charged. Let us not have this hatred for our brothers and our sisters. Let me tell you, there are people who have wronged me badly. I could have hated them. I will not hate you. I will choose peace. But I do not want you in my space. However, if I am walking down the road and I see something happen to you, I will call 911 or I'll call someone to assist you. But we have gotten very cold-hearted in this country that if things are happening, let us videotape it or mamele, this person can die. And then I saw another fracas. And I don't know which community that is, this fracas happened, but I saw a fracas with, some guy or a girl held a stick and going behind another one hit her and then she fell and then her hand was bloodied. I don't know what community is this, but whatever community that was in, I want to thank the guys, the men and the other people who came to separate that fight. Kudos to you. And then I realized that they got involved because they realized it was, young people, right? And the older guys came. There was a guy for white shirt. Kudos to you for stopping the fight. What is happening to us as a people? Why can't we sit down if we have an issue? The same thing I've been saying over and over and over again. We do not have the skills to communicate with each other. All we want to do is fight with each other. And as I said, many relationships, business, friendships, all kind of things are destroyed because people do not want to sit down and listen to the other person and then vice versa, and then you come to a solution. They don't want to do that. All they want to do is fight. And we see it in the political sphere too. We see how they say things and notions. Can I encourage y'all to stop the political fighting? We are citizens of St. Lucia. Whether you live here or wherever you are St. Lucian, I would like to encourage you to stop that kind of war and that kind of fighting and getting vexed with people for politics. So, let me tell you, we all have done it. We all have said things. We have gotten vexed with each other and all sorts of things. But when you really sit back and look at it, it's not worth it. Let us discuss the issues without insulting each other. And, I watched the St. Lucia Labour Party. They had their public meeting on June 1st, and it was commendable. I am somebody, I don't really sit and listen to political meetings the whole lot. I don't do that. But this meeting had a different feel about it. It had a nice feeling about it. I listened to it. And, I must commend the speaker. And I must commend the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Set the tone. There's just too much war. There's too much hatred. And I'm happy you set that tone. Please continue that tone in Parliament. And, wherever you go, you have your public meetings. It's a right tone. And I think many St. Lucians and even people who support your party were very happy. As I said, I support country. I don't support any political party. I support my country. And I believe your meeting on June the 1st had a nice tone. I would encourage St. Lucians. To do the same. Stop fighting. Let us discuss the issue. If you can't discuss the issue and all you can do is attack somebody personally, it means you makes no sense. It means you cannot really debate an issue. And with this, I will take my first commercial break.
Attention St. Lucia, get ready for an incredible offer from Skybox Shipping. Fresh off the market, Skybox Shipping is here and we're starting the month of June with a steal. Picture this, get a jaw-dropping 50% off every pound you ship with us. Whether it's by air or sea, with Skybox Shipping, the sky is indeed the limit. Located at Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, you can't miss us. Visit our website at skyboxshipping.com for more information. Or, better yet, give us a call at 1-758-572-2277 to speak with our friendly team. We're open from Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. But hurry, this unbeatable June offer won't last forever. Terms and conditions apply. Catch the Sohria Alexander Show on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on 92.3 Liberty FM. This show will revolutionize your mind. Your host, Soso, awaits you. See you there.
Business owners, are you looking for affordable advertising options? Yes, you see, the Sohria Alexander Show has got you covered. Maximize your brand's reach with our affordable advertising rates and reach a wide audience of engaged listeners. Your ad could be featured on our popular show. And we also offer audio and digital TV ad creations, yes, you see? Don't miss the opportunity. Call us now at 758-715-9458 or email us at thesohriaalexandershow@gmail.com to secure your advertising spot, yes? Big or small business, there is something for you. Ho, 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 ho.
Yes, and I am back. Big or small business, there is something for you. So call the Sohria Alexander Show at 715-9458. My team, they will do your advertising audio. They will do the digital ad for you. And if you also want to advertise with us on the show, we will do that. But we're giving you the option of superb advertising. And I must say that I am very proud of my production team with this ad they have produced. Let me tell you something, be creative. Don't sit there and wait for government to feed you because you will starve. Try your best to do something and feed yourself. So if you want, we do all types of ads, audio, video, whatever you want, we get it done for you. And also small businesses, what I have decided to do, and I'm speaking to some of the small businesses, what I have decided to do for them, because it's very costly to advertise, I have decided to really help out the small businesses. And this is how we grow an economy, by helping each other. Let's not be too selfish. let's not be too greedy. Everybody just wants to eat all the profits. Let's try to help each other. And this is why I said we need to stop this nonsense of fighting with each other, and let us try to grow our St. Lucia. Support local, right? Support local. And you know, we have many people, many small businesses in St. Lucia who are really trying. Even those in the youth economy, you know, you got your grants and you need exposure. And I know, as I said to you, I know advertising is very costly. You know, you can feel free to call my number, and we can sit and we can discuss a good package for you. Because this is what I say to people. Okay, my number, this is what I say to people. My number is 715-9458. This is what I say to people, and people don't seem to understand that you need advertising, and marketing is everything. I have spent a lot of money in marketing my show and doing different stuff. Nobody will know about you if you don't market your business. And this is why many big businesses, their marketing budget is very big, because they want you to hear. You'll hear them advertising on how many different mediums, because they want you to know about their products. But then we have the small businesses who may not have that reach because they do not have the advertising dollars budget to do that. So I am giving you that opportunity. All those who are in the youth economy, you need good advertising. We're gonna give you top tier advertising, as you can see. And also, we are going to work with you so that, you know, your customers can hear about you. And I would really like to thank my team. I'd like to thank my producer, Mr. Akim Ernest. I really would like to thank him. He's the head of the team doing everything. I really would like to thank him because, again, a young person, he's studying, he's doing all sorts of things, and he's helping. You must devote a lot of time and energy if you want something at a high level. And this is exactly what we are doing. Because my producer said, who is my son, he said, I'm not going to make you, mommy, do any show, and your show lacks standard, your show lacks quality, right? He is the one that, you know, when you watch the various videos and it have all the swearing or all the bad things, he's the one fixing it, putting the bloopers so you don't hear. So let us support local. And as I said, as you can see, you can buy me a coffee to support the show. You can also, there are stars, you know, you can purchase stars if you want. And, you know, just to help the show continue going. So thank you everyone who listen over the airwaves. Thank you very much. And those on social media, thank you so much for coming. And I'm realizing people really loving the show. And I am so proud of that. Now, let us segue a bit. My people, we have to be very careful what we say as leaders. Remember, I've always said that we have to be very careful what we say as leaders. Now, we are aware that the government of St. Lucia has launched their prenatal universal health care for mothers, which is great, which is fantastic. However, we have to be responsible as leaders. That's what I always say. We must think before we speak, because people can take umbrage to something you say. You may say it innocently, but then it can have a negative effect or a positive effect on the minds of people. So the CMO was speaking at the launching of the universal health care, the prenatal care for women. And she said, I'm going to read what she said. CMO calls for birth of more babies. The Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar George, made a special appeal to mothers of childbearing age in St. Lucia to have at least 2 children. St. Lucia's birth rate has declined significantly over the past 2 decades. This decrease is expected to have a significant impact on St. Lucia's society. Speaking at the launch of universal health coverage, Dr. George says, given the expanded services being offered under the universal health coverage, it is a good time for women to have babies. Now, people, as leaders, we have to be careful what we say. Because this statement can be construed as a very insensitive statement. And I will tell you why I say that. We have so many social issues in this country already. Personally, I do not believe that anybody, I don't care who it is, should be preaching that, those of childbearing age, it is time for you, to at least contribute 2 children to society. I've known that for a long while because I've been hearing that many of the schools don't have many students, many children, because people are not giving birth. Again, and I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she said, I was speaking to a friend of mine on Friday, and she said, we live in a very hypocritical society. She said to me, remember once upon a time when teenagers used to get pregnant, it was like, it's a crime, people watching them, and it was really hell for them. I remember that time. I remember because I grew up back then. I remember the time when teenagers got pregnant. It was nothing nice to look upon. It was hell and damnation. Now I am subject to correction. I was told that in order to get birth control, before you could have gone to the health center or even over the counter to get birth control. But right now I'm understanding that you need a doctor's prescription. I also know we have the family care. I think they still have it where you walk in and they give you birth control, they give you a condom. Why don't we teach those of childbearing age that in order for you to have a child, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it comes with responsibility. What should have been said? Yes, our country, the birth rate is low. However, before having a child, you need to be responsible. You need to ensure that you have the capability and the capacity to take care of the child and yourself. Because we know how our culture is throughout the Caribbean, that we find many single mothers, even when you're married, they leave and they go, and women are stuck with the child or children to take care of. First, we have to say to our women, and we are living, my goodness, we are living in such harsh financial times. It is just crazy, because when I took my driver to bring me home, because you have to try to cut costs in every way. He said to me, people are saying to me that they cannot even really shop again. They cannot really buy stuff. People are saying after they buy groceries for this week, what are they going to do? People don't have money. Groceries are too damn expensive in this country. We are being ripped off. Let me tell you, there is no middle class again. So when Dr. Sharon Belmar George said, those who are of childbearing age, it's time for you to have 2, whether it was a joke or not, to me, that's not something to say. Because let me tell you something. There is no middle class again. Many of us who are in middle class may be suffering silently and not telling you. So not because somebody doesn't tell you that they are suffering, that means they have the capacity of the financial resources to go have 2 children, 2 children to take care of them. And what they fail to say to you, it's not just having, and this is where education comes in. We cannot just make those statements without qualifying them with the things that would make them relevant. Okay, you get pregnant. Okay, you get pregnant. The person you get pregnant for, is he committed? Is he committed to help you psychologically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the least during your 9 months of pregnancy? Let me tell you something, ladies. I am going to speak for y'all because I'm going to tell y'all from my own experience. Ladies, check for yourself. People may say you are selfish or we sexist. No. Check for yourself. As I always say, do not get giddy head. Make sure that you are okay financially, that you are able to take care of yourself and your child or your children. Because having a child, and I said that previously, having a child is not for 18 years. As long as you're a mother and or a father, you are this person's parents until you die. Until you die. So when you're saying that, oh, the population is decreasing, the birth rate is not high. Number one, when you have a child, you have Pampers, milk, daycare, or nanny to pay to take care of this child. Sometimes if nanny doesn't come to work, you have to call a family member. These days, you do not have grandmother, this one taking care, auntie. It's not like in the days I was raised when my mom went to work, my grandmother was always there. That kind of grandma vibe in there again. Grandmas these days are very young, sexy, still working, still going about their business. So these are the things. And then you have to take care of this child. And when this child starts growing, right, this child has to go to daycare, of course, preschool, of course, and then this child start going into the school system where you have to spend money for a number of years. So we have, it sounds nice. It sounds nice. My people, those who have childbearing age, it's very nice to go and have 2 children. You must qualify that with the responsibilities that comes with having a child. And many people cannot cope right now. Financially, many people cannot cope. It is extremely hard. And people are telling you they can pay their bills or whatever. But to eat after you pay your bills, what is left before? After you pay your bills, whatever you have left, like from 2019, you can go shop and, still live. But when you go to the supermarket, it is just ridiculous. And I'm calling on the government of St. Lucia, please. I'm speaking on behalf of the people of St. Lucia. Please look into those high prices. It is too high. Imagine I went to another company and because I love their cheese. That's La Place Salaison. I love their cheese. So although I'm not supposed to be eating cheese, the doctor tell me not to eat cheese. But hey, I have to sin in something. I like cheese. I like cheese, I like tea, and I love my tea with milk. So I went there week before. I saw these people had a nice big piece of cheese for $9. I'm like, no, I lied, for $7. Like, something wrong here. And let me tell you, I bought these people cheese, and the cheese were the best. The Place Salaison by the dairy, it was the best. So I went back on Thursday or Friday. I'm back on Thursday, I think, and I bought another big piece. I got a nice big piece of cheese for $11 there. I believe, and I've heard people saying that when you go to the different places, the prices are not that expensive. But you also have to realize that most people do their shopping at this big supermarket. And the government of St. Lucia, I know is certain things you can control, but this has gotten egregious, because I remember going to Trinidad a couple of years ago. When I entered that supermarket, I was like, oh my God, these prices are nuts, because our prices in St. Lucia are much cheaper. Right now, their prices in Trinidad is cheaper than our prices in St. Lucia. So I said to myself, something is wrong. So when you say go and have children, in this time, there is no middle class. They only have the high class now. Those who have all the millions. There is no middle class. Every middle class, not so middle class, not so middle class, and the poor man, all of us suffering. People will not say, because I can't really complain about my light bill, I can't really complain about my water bill, because these are things you can control. Well, you can't control flow on them, or whoever you pay, Digicel or whoever you pay, it's standard, right? And you can pay all your other little bills you have to pay comfortably, but you cannot eat. So we have to remember that. And people are let me tell you something. People are very, very prone to listen to the leaders or those they look up to or those they love. Young people and also not so young people. I'm in my 20s. I should really start thinking. Sometimes you with a fellow and you want no children yet, but you pestering the man to have child. Then you have child, then man go. And you alone there to take care of your picnic. We have to be careful with our words. And this is why I say to you, when I come here, I always come to say things differently. And what I will do now, I will play a little snippet of what she said.
It is really the optimum time for everyone who's not contributed your two. You know who you are. If you've not yet contributed your two, we have a very constructive transition in our epi curve. It is a time for you to be thinking about it. The government has provided you with every opportunity now that you don't have to look at that cost. Thank you.
Dr. Sharon Belmar George, I like how you ended that address. Point du vent.
Now she said that the government has provided you with the prenatal care. You don't have to deal with that cost. My lady, being pregnant has a lot of cost, not only the prenatal care which the government gave. And I just find for me, what she said, if I was younger in childbearing age, that would be water off my back. But there are some people who are very impressionable and they would take what you say as gospel and maybe start pressuring their partner or maybe go in and have a child that they are not ready for. Having a child is very costly, and we know that our world is built on single families, single parenting. We know the struggles many women go through. So it was kind of a very irresponsible statement. And we have an aging population for long. People are not, what they're saying, people are enjoying sex but not having children. So if somebody wants to enjoy sex, you cannot force them to have a child. That's invasion of privacy. You cannot force them. People are protecting themselves at all costs, because I've heard people saying, young people, and let me tell you, I don't think the population, because before when you used to walk in town, like when I was growing up younger, in my teens and my early 20s, I tell you, I was like, I wouldn't even say early 20s, like more in my teens and early 20s, like 2021. Yeah, about 2021 to 25. You would see pregnant everywhere I pass. I would see people pregnant, but people have gotten wise. People are not doing that. People are not doing that, because I had my first son at 29 and there was not a whole lot of people pregnant. And I had my second son at 35 and there was not a whole lot of people pregnant. So it didn't just start. And you really, when I was in town and I saw that was on Thursday. I was in town on Thursday and imagine I saw somebody pregnant and I was like, oh People are pregnant, because it's something you don't really see. So the birth rate declining is because people have started to think there are many social issues that can happen. And why didn't we say the birth rate is declining? Why not help those children living in poverty? Why not help them and put them on a good stead? Yeah, I know people may say, oh, she didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm not saying she meant it in a bad way, but we have to be careful with our words and what we say. And, I wanted you to sit back and listen, because sometimes I find our people are very, very shallow, and our people only look at things at the surface. But as I said, this show is there to educate you. You can be lying on your bed listening to Susu. You can be in your vehicle just chilling by the beach, or you at work, at the hospitals, at the various, hotels, or wherever you are, the bars, just chilling and listening to Susu. It is very interesting. It's an interesting show, and it is not the show that will give you the high orgasm. Oh, girl, no. It's a show that is gonna cause you to think. So I really want you to listen to a video: single moms struggle with housing, childcare, employment in the pandemic. Far less now when things very costly.
God provides.
Every day, 16-year-old Martasia tells her mom, God will provide.
Now you finally see what God can do.
And that this road she travels down now will provide for her and her 5 daughters. Every week, Alicia Carter delivers mail to homes in Maryland's Prince George's County. Homes in one of the nation's wealthiest Black communities. The kind of home Alicia Carter dreams of. Because right now, this mail carrier doesn't even have one.
I was so shocked to find out you were a mail carrier.
Yeah.
And you were homeless. What do you want people to know about that?
To have a job, a good job at that, and then still be homeless was like, what am I doing wrong?
Just keep working, not giving up. From Alicia's mouth to God's ears.
Alicia, why didn't you want to tell anybody at the post office that you were homeless?
I'm more independent. I really don't like more like handouts or someone feeling pity for me.
A commitment to her family that will take this unwavering mom and mail carrier down a surprising route to recovery.
Fortune comes in many things, and mostly they're people.
How are you?
With random acts of kindness that will help get her there. There are more than 13 million single parents in the U.S. 80% are single moms.
A lot of economists are calling this recession a she-cession because it's hit women across the spectrum much more so than men.
This pandemic has ravaged already poverty-stricken cities like Baltimore, hitting people of color, particularly Black single moms like Alicia, the hardest.
Women of color are much more likely to be holding an in-person job, especially in the service sector that's been hit more severely by COVID-19. I really bristle at the idea that people say women are opting out of the labor market. They're not opting out, they're being pushed out.
Alicia lost her job when the pandemic hit. Then the family lost their rental house. So this hotel became their home. Then when the money ran out.
You all lived in the car together?
We would all sit in one seat. She would sit in the middle, Paige would sit by the door, I sit by the door, and the twins would lay on our lap.
How did you survive that?
It really didn't, not say bother them, it hurt me more. So as long as we all was together, they was happy.
For single mother Angel Marino, a certified medical assistant in Detroit, she had no choice but to keep reporting to her job at a hospital.
I can't afford not to work.
We've been following her story since the pandemic began. In December, she talked with my colleague, Rebecca Jarvis.
How have you been managing all of this? Oh my goodness. It's just been very difficult since the pandemic began in March. And thank God I have a team, people I work with, my manager, my supervisor. They are very resourceful.
Even before the pandemic, finances were tight for Angel and her 3 children, ages 10, 7, and 6. She never wants them to be homeless like she was as a child after her mother died.
And I want my kids to have stability.
Childcare has been one of her biggest problems to solve. In the spring, her children were in a free daycare for essential workers, a lifeline funded for a time by philanthropies.
Childcare is not a family issue, it's a business issue. Childcare is a piece of critical infrastructure. It's like roads and bridges that help working parents get to work. And it's especially important that we get single moms back into the workforce because you can't work an in-person job if you don't have childcare.
Her children finally entered an in-person learning pod at their school, but it had to close in December. COVID cases spiked again.
The choice of work and kids, it shouldn't be a choice. Like, I shouldn't have to, I want to be the best mom I can be.
But Angel has a hard-won resilience.
We can do it, though. I was born for this. Like, I was born to, like, cross mountains.
So I'm on my way in. It's Thursday.
2 months later, Angel proved that was true.
If there's a mountain, I'm gonna get over it. You gotta speak positivity.
Angel not only held on to her job, she even got a raise. But the trickiest part, her kids. Luckily, she found a remote school program at the local Y.
I think they'll be proud of me when we all look back on this in the future, that like, Mom, we've been through a lot together. My kids are resilient.
The Y, combined with the program at their school reopening, has been a vital lifeline for single working moms like Angel.
I'm optimistic, and I would tell all the single moms out there, don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. You can take one day at a time.
There are very tangible things we can do right now to keep women in the labor force, to keep single moms afloat with their families, because we know this is temporary. It just blows my mind right now that we have a very solvable problem in front of us and just lack the political will to address it.
For Alicia Carter and her daughters left living in that car, the road to success was humbling.
We would wear each other's shoes, we would wear each other's clothes, we would wear the same clothes. Like, we would have to, like, I don't know, it was a lot. Had to go to school and then have friends that be like, oh, if you ever need anything, but you didn't really want to say anything because you didn't want them to, like, make fun of you or,
It's okay.
I don't know.
But Martasia's classmates didn't make fun of her. They rallied around her. Eventually, Alicia told a friend about her situation, and that friend found a safe haven. Located in the midst of Baltimore's toughest neighborhoods, Sarah's Hope, a shelter known for helping single mothers.
Got to spend a lot of quality time together, get to learn each other better, emotional, physically, and mentally.
What's your favorite thing about your mom?
She's always there for us.
Family and fortitude. Things money just can't buy. A resilience that resonated with Linda Wilson.
You're the one that rides up and down here all the time? Oh my gosh.
Remember that neighbor we met back on Alicia's route?
When I was 20, I was a little lost child like many of us are.
Linda, too, was once homeless, but helped by a total stranger. Now, she's paying it forward.
Just to help you.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I've been there. If we can grab joy anywhere we can.
When you go through a struggle together with your family, it makes you stronger.
Happy birthday. Every dark place always has a light or something that just brings light to you. Don't underestimate yourself.
Proving that sometimes struggles can be serendipitous. Alicia used her time in the shelter to job hunt, landing her position with the Postal Service in September. By the end of the year, she was ready to say goodbye to 2020 and able to deliver her family a post-Christmas present. Welcome to the Carter family's new home, made possible with assistance from the shelter.
So what is next for this beautiful family?
Happy times. Home-cooked meals, More tacos.
More tacos.
Yeah,
I want to come over.
The whole family now savoring the sweet sounds of that spiritual promise.
My life when you come to my rescue.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks.
I am hoping that my radio listeners and my viewers on social media and YouTube, Facebook, that you understand why I spoke the way I spoke, because it is always the mothers. It is always the mothers. We are always the one who has to stay in the situation and make it work for ourselves and our children. So we have to be very careful, as I said, what we say. The young people are listening. And you know, what touched me was the young lady saying she didn't want her peers to know, her school friends to know. You know, next thing they start to laugh at her. And we know how children can be, but thankfully they didn't laugh at her and they assisted her and her family. So we have to be very careful. Having a child, tell yourself you are committed to this child for the rest of your life until you die. And with this, I am going to take my final commercial break.
Attention St. Lucia, get ready for an incredible offer from Skybox Shipping, fresh off the market. Skybox Shipping is here and we're starting the month of June with a steal. Picture this, get a jaw-dropping 50% off every pound you ship with us. Whether it's by air or sea, with Skybox Shipping, the sky is indeed the limit. Located at Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, you can't miss us. Visit our website at skyboxshipping.com for more information. Or, better yet, give us a call at 1-758-572-2277 to speak with our friendly team. We're open from Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. But hurry, this unbeatable June offer won't last forever. Terms and conditions apply. Catch the Sohria Alexander Show on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on 92.3 Liberty FM. This show will revolutionize your mind. Your host, Soso, awaits you. See you there.
Business owners, are you looking for affordable advertising options? Yes, you see, the Sohria Alexander Show has got you covered. Maximize your brand's reach with our affordable advertising rates and reach a wide audience of engaged listeners. Your ad could be featured on our popular show. And we also offer audio and digital TV ad creations, yes, you see? Don't miss the opportunity. Call us now at 758-715-9458 or email us at thesohriaalexandershow@gmail.com to secure your advertising spot, yes? Big or small business, there is something for you. Ho, 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 ho.
Yes, and we are back. And to the small businesses, whether you're small, large, whatever, you can call us on 715-9458 to speak with us, to do your ads, whether it's audio, visual, whatever. We'll be happy to do it for you. And also, you know, to help you market your small business, because it takes a lot of money to advertise. And people, you know, as I said to you, when I do my shows, I do it with a theme so that you would think, you know, and not just to come to talk for talking's sake. It is very crucial, people. We're living in very crucial times. And people are complaining. And you must allow people to vent. Vent in the right way, not the very filthy, unmannerly, despicable, nasty way. You have a right to vent. Allow people to vent. If somebody is saying you may be able to afford your groceries, pay the high prices, but somebody else cannot afford it, give them the right to talk. You cannot just say to them, oh, all over the world, all the prices have been increased and you're complaining. It is their right. That means that they are feeling the burn. And what people fail to realize also, that the government is there to work in the interest of the people. The mandate of the government is for the people of St. Lucia. And what everybody has been complaining, everybody I speak to, my girlfriends I speak to, my male friends, my senior citizens, everybody, they are complaining about the cost of living. It is too high. And if we live in a country where we cannot afford to buy food, now some people come say to you, oh, go plant this, go plant that. How many people can plant this? How many people can plant that? People need to know that if they have money, a salary, that they are able to take care of themselves, which they are not able to do. We need to do better. Because I can never be selfish like that. For me to say, okay, because I can eat, because I can do this, I can do that. What you complaining about? It happening all across the world. What you complaining about? Suck it up. We cannot tell people that. Some people have nobody to go to help them in their crisis. The only person they have is themselves, to rely on themselves. And this is why the community spirit, the community love is not there. Let me tell you where the community love is. The community love is for the politicians. Your love them are not your brother or sister who may be struggling. That is where your community love is. We must stop that. Let us go back to reality, to help each other, to be there for each other, to care for each other. Let us go back to that reality. I believe our country is focused too much on politics and politicians. Our country, our people, our St. Lucian people do not see, okay, this is so-so. Okay, so-so has a need. So-so has a problem. This is so-so. Let me deal with so-so. They're dealing with it politically. Oh, you don't like my government. Or you don't like my opposition leader. You don't love this. You don't love that. Let us love country. Fight. 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 For the betterment of us all. And I know the Prime Minister is trying. He's between a rock and a hard place. But when your people are crying that they cannot survive, it's not that they want handouts from you. The groceries are off the chain. It's either the government of St. Lucia try to get another supermarket to come into St. Lucia, because it is really, really, really costly for us to live in this country. I hope what I shared with you tonight will enlighten you and open up your mind. See ya.